Thanks for joining us. I'm Charlie Ehlenfeld.
And I'm Serenity Prophet. Welcome to Newswatch.
You are taking a look at the Hocking River sitting at a height of around 18 feet.
The river is currently in the action stage, meaning while it hasn't flooded yet, there's still a possibility.
Counties across southeast Ohio, including Athens, are still under a flood warning until 10 p.m. tonight.
For the latest on tonight's rain, let's hear from forecaster Calvin Stebbins.
Yeah, it's definitely been a rainy week, and we've even seen accumulations at the moment at around 4.5 inches. Now, just taking a look, Athens, Vinton, Meigs, and even just Scioto County are all under this aerial flood warning. So pretty much what this is saying is we're expecting a little bit more rainfall heading through tomorrow, mid-afternoon to evening. So if you do come across a road that does happen to be flooded, make sure you turn around and don't drown. Now, just taking a look, it's been a very beautiful day, and just taking a look just around the surrounding areas, just south of I-70, 74 in Zanesville and 75 in Lancaster, then through the Ohio River Valley, 81 in Huntington and 76 in Parkersburg. Currently in Athens, though, it is sitting at around 76 degrees with clear skies out there. Then taking a look heading into tonight, we'll see that overnight low of 62 degrees and partly cloudy skies. Then just taking a look at tomorrow, 90% chance of showers. We'll see that high of 78 and that low of 48. And then just taking a look at our 3-day outlook, we'll have that heading through Saturday, that 90% chance of showers, high of 78, low of 48. Then that showers move out of our area heading into Sunday, partly sunny skies, high of 62 and a low of 41. I'm going to send it back to Serenity and Charlie at the desk.
Thanks, Galvin. An Ohio mother is being held on a $2 million bond after her 2 young daughters were found dead inside suitcases. Aaliyah Henderson was arraigned earlier today on 2 counts of aggravated murder. This comes just days after the bodies of the 2 children, ages 8 and 10, were discovered in a Cleveland field earlier this week. Police arrested Henderson at her home on Wednesday. Police say a 3rd child inside the home was in good health and has been transferred to state care.
The Pomeroy-Mason Bridge is closed until further notice after a barge collision. The bridge will remain closed to all traffic until inspectors and ODOT can do a full structural assessment and decide on the next steps. Officials are asking drivers to find alternative routes and build extra travel time. The West Virginia Department of Transportation will provide updates as they are available. If you recently got a text asking to scan a QR code to pay an outstanding parking ticket, don't scan it. The Ohio Bureau of Motor Vehicles says this is a new phishing tactic scammers are using to steal your personal information. Residents said the text tells them to pay their parking ticket or have their license suspended immediately. Officials say delete scam texts and not scan any QR codes or click any links. If you receive a text like the one on your screen, you can call the FTC to report it.
Republican leaders in the Ohio State House say they want to override Governor DeWine's veto eliminating a sales tax break for construction materials for data centers. DeWine's veto of the elimination was one of his 67 vetoes in last year's budget. Supporters say while they want data centers to be built in Ohio, they don't want construction companies to get, quote, special treatment. Republicans say overriding DeWine's veto would likely get bipartisan support. Lawmakers have until the end of this legislative term, to override the veto.
President Donald Trump seems to rule out negotiating with Iran to end the war in the Middle East.
Earlier today, Trump posted on Truth Social saying he would only accept a, quote, unconditional surrender from Tehran. While Trump has said the U.S. will help rebuild Iran, the U.S. must approve of whoever the next leader will be.
Today marks day 7 of the war in Iran with no end in sight. White House officials said Trump predicts the war will last another 4 to 6 weeks.
The Labor Department's latest jobs report delivered an unpleasant surprise.
While crude oil prices climbed to their highest reading in more than 2 years amid the ongoing war, Karen Kafa is in Washington with the latest on economic uncertainty.
Hiring took an unexpected downward turn in February, with businesses frozen by a cold snap across a number of states and months of economic uncertainty.
We now know that the labor market has essentially stalled. We're in a situation where it is across all sectors, we're not seeing jobs being added.
The U.S. economy lost 92,000 jobs during February, according to the Labor Department. Economists had expected some growth. The unemployment rate ticked up to 4.4%. The healthcare sector, which has stoked recent overall job growth, lost 28,000 jobs in February, much of that attributable to a nurses' strike in California and Hawaii that's expected to reverse in March. Leisure and hospitality shed 27,000 jobs. Manufacturing lost 12,000 and construction lost 11,000.
The numbers reflect what I'm hearing from people at home, that the economy is not working for them.
Now, rapidly rising oil and gas prices are ramping up pressure on businesses and consumers.
The nature of gas prices is really interesting because as oil prices rise, those increases fall through to consumers basically immediately.
Crude oil prices continued their climb Friday amid the Iran conflict, and gas prices have reached their highest average levels of either of President Donald Trump's presidential terms. Trump, in a phone interview with CNN Friday, said the rise is short term. Even before the spike in gas prices, retail sales declined unexpectedly in January, the Commerce Department said Friday, raising other concerns about consumer spending, a major driver of U.S. economic growth. In Washington, I'm Karen Kafa.
In an effort to get oil tankers and other ships moving, the Trump administration says it will provide $20 billion in reassurance to shippers in the area.
This comes as the flow of oil tankers through the Strait of Hormuz has virtually come to a stop after several private maritime insurers yanked coverage for shipping companies for war-related damage in the Gulf.
President Donald Trump previously promised to provide government-backed insurance along with naval escorts to get oil tankers moving again.
The war is also hitting another part of the market, the housing market.
Mortgage rates rose again, now sitting at 6%. Rates dipped down to 5.98% just last week. That was the first time rates fell below 6% since 2022.
The jump comes after the war with Iran impacted financial markets. Despite this increase, mortgage rates remain significantly lower than last year when they climbed briefly above 7%. The Trump administration will have to refund billions in tariff revenue. Yesterday, a judge ordered the Trump administration to begin paying back the $130 billion taken from importers. This comes 2 weeks after the Supreme Court ruled the levies were illegal, prompting over 2,000 companies to file lawsuits over lost revenue. Though the lawsuit lays the groundwork for over 330,000 importers to seek damages. Experts say the process will take a long time, and the Trump administration is expected to appeal. Not only are companies seeking damages over the tariffs, but states hope to prevent new ones from taking effect. A group of 24 states, led by New York, California, Arizona, and Oregon, filed a lawsuit at the U.S. Court of International Trade. The new tariffs come after the Supreme Court struck down the previous levies 2 weeks ago. They allege the new tariffs still break federal law because the tariffs remain inconsistent in their enforcement.
A new group of anti-corruption lawyers are suing over the deal that keeps TikTok operating in the U.S. The lawsuit argues Trump administration is violating a bipartisan 2024 law. It bans TikTok in the U.S., barring its sales in a non-Chinese company. The group of investors now controls the app, but ByteDance still owns part of it. The lawsuit claims that that's not good enough. It seeks fines and a potential new deal, but not TikTok removal from the U.S. app stores. Today on the south side of Chicago, thousands gathered for Reverend Jesse Jackson's funeral service.
And today his legacy will not be carried forward by family alone. This type of work does not pass by blood, it passes by faith. We have recommitted ourselves to its founding principles, reached out to engage new leaders across the country, and restructured and revived its operations.
During the service, multiple people spoke, including former President Clinton, Obama, and Biden, along with former Vice President Kamala Harris, highlighting Jackson's accomplishments.
It's been a very nice day, but rain is back on the way. Stay tuned to see the timing of it all.
I'm Miranda Esmond-White. In this program, I reveal the 6 simple steps to starting your journey on the fast track to aging backwards. After hearing from many of you who were unsure how to implement the process of aging backwards, I laid out this easy-to-follow formula. I explain how you can increase your energy, reboot your brain, and relieve pain.
Monday at 9:30 on WOUB.
The estate was drenched in chemicals. And so we started this extraordinary experiment.
Feels like you're moving back in time.
We can bring back life where there was no life before. It's the stuff of fairy tales in a way.
You are ready to go.
Did you get that? That is incredible.
We are a part of a revolution.
That, for me, is so exciting.
Well, obviously a beautiful day today. You mentioned it earlier, but I mean, obviously some storms on the horizon. Just how bad are we looking here?
Yeah, so I mean, heading into tomorrow, we're at a 2 out of 5 risk for just some severe weather, but you know, you can never count out that hailstorm or even the chance for a tornado or two heading into tomorrow. So yeah, it can turn severe in an instant, pretty much.
Yeah, I mean, I saw there was a tornado in Michigan today. I mean, crazy stuff going on, but I mean, let's hear all about what we're looking at tomorrow.
Yeah, so at least just taking a look at our surface analysis map for today, we are in a ridging period. So pretty much what a ridging period means is we're starting to see some nice warm Gulf air coming into our area, which is allowing that chance for our highs to be in the upper 70s for a majority of our day. Now, just taking a look at the rest of the week, we are going to see this low pressure and cold front move into our area, which will bring back that chance for severe weather and, of course, rain. Now, because of all the rain we've had and what we're going to see in the upcoming days, the National Weather Service has this aerial flood warning for most of Athens County, Meigs, and even into Vinton and Scioto. So pretty much what this is saying is rain is on the way, and if you do come across a road that is underwater, make sure you turn around and don't drown, because that rain can affect those surrounding areas. Now, just taking a closer look at tomorrow, there is a 2 out of 5 risk for severe weather, so all hazards are on the table. The big hazard for tomorrow is the wind risk. We are expecting gusts up to 50 miles per hour and even more than that, and the chance of a tornado or two are all possible, and even hail. Now, just taking a look at today, we had a few showers in our area, but as the day has continued and they moved off to the east, they continued to dissipate. Much of the same can be said for tomorrow, or for the satellite, where we saw a lot of cloud cover this morning, but again, as they moved into that high pressure, they continued to dissipate. Just taking a look at over the past 24 hours, we saw our lows last night dip down to around 54 degrees, but as that daytime heating process has occurred, we saw them jump right back up into the mid to high 70s for majority of southern Ohio. Currently in Athens, it is 76 degrees with clear skies. Those clear skies won't be sticking around heading into tonight, where we'll see that overnight low at around 62 degrees with partly cloudy skies. Taking a look at tomorrow, 90% chance of showers. We'll have that high of 78 and that low of 48 as that cold front moves through. Now, just taking a closer look at tomorrow morning, we are going to start to see that ridging period where we're getting that warm air getting pulled up from the Gulf. But again, we are going to start to see a line of showers starting to form just along the cold front boundary. So as that cold front moves into our area, it's going to continue to intensify, and that's when we're going to start to see our severe risk. We taking a look at the midday to the early evening hours. As that line of showers moves into our area, it's going to continue to intensify as it tracks into our area. Sunday morning, late Sunday night into Sunday morning, we are going to start to see that severe risk start to move out of our area, but that rain will be sticking around. And then heading into Sunday night, we are going to start to be on the stage where the rain is moving out of the area, and it's going to move out of our area. Just taking a look at our 7-day outlook heading into Sunday, we just cleared the showers, partly sunny skies, high of 62, low of 41. Heading into Monday, sunny skies, high of 73, low of 53. Then just taking a look at the midweek, 50% chance of showers return. And then heading into Tuesday, high of 73, low of 59. And then rest of the week, we'll start to see a cool down with that rain risk sticking around.
Thanks, Kelvin. It's peak travel season and airlines are offering flights to Mexico. But with recent cartel violence, locals and tourists are wondering if it's safe. Maribel Gonzalez has the latest updates from the U.S. State Department.
Mexico is a popular destination for spring breakers, and this year it will be even busier as it co-hosts the FIFA World Cup alongside the U.S. and Canada. More than 5 million fans are expected across 16 host cities in the 3 countries. There is no risk to visitors. That's what Mexico's President Claudia Sheinbaum assured the public 2 days after the killing of cartel leader Nemesio El Mencho Ceguera Cervantes set off a wave of retaliatory violence affecting areas popular with foreign tourists, including Puerto Vallarta and Guadalajara. This week, the U.S. State Department indicated the situation in Mexico has largely returned to normal, but it cautions spring break travelers that the risk of crimes and kidnappings remains.
There are places within Mexico that are very, very safe for tourists to go.
Still, Daniel Richards, who heads a global security firm, says travelers should do their part to stay safe.
Be aware of your surroundings. Don't just get into a car or a random taxi or, do things that might make you a target of opportunity.
And for any trip, travel experts say it's a good idea to protect it.
I just booked my travel with a credit card that offers trip delay and cancellation protection. Now, that won't cover you in huge political events, things like that, but it will cover you if you're caught up in a storm and you end up stuck in an airport for a few days and you have to buy a hotel and meals and an Uber.
With less than 100 days remaining until the 2026 FIFA World Cup kicks off, Mexico says it is ready to welcome the crowds, beefing up security ahead of the big event. Mexico's president said she's in touch with the president of FIFA and has announced representatives from the Football Federation plan to visit the country to review issues such as security and traffic ahead of the 2026 World Cup. Reporting in Los Angeles, I'm Maribel Gonzalez.
A new study finds climate change is speeding up. Between 1975 and 2015, each decade saw an average 0.2 Celsius increase. But between 2015 and 2025, temperatures rose 0.35 Celsius, a 75% spike. This is the fastest warming trend on record, with 2024 being the hottest year on record, followed by 2023. If the trend continues, the report finds the Earth will reach its critical warming limits by 2030. The primary cause remains human-produced greenhouse emissions and land use change, outpacing natural variations in the climate. Don't forget, daylight saving time starts this weekend. On March 8th, this Sunday at 2 a.m., the clocks will spring forward. If you have any analog clocks, make sure to adjust them, but smartphones will automatically adjust for the time change. And every state except Arizona and Hawaii participate in the practice. Daylight saving time will end November 1st when the clocks fall back an hour.
Next in sports, hey, we're right here live at the Convocation Center for maybe the biggest game of the entire season. Catch a preview of Miami versus Ohio when we return.
We'll be right back after the break, but until then, be sure to follow us on Instagram, X, and YouTube to stay up to date on all the news in Southeast Ohio.
It's a small island in the Atlantic.
The first people would have arrived by sea.
But Ireland changed the world.
Incredible influence for one small country.
The rich history.
A remarkable phase of the human past.
Filled with tragedy.
Over 1.1 million died.
And triumph.
He won them their freedom.
These are the people that made America.
From that small island, the story of the Irish.
Wednesday at 9:30 on WOUB.
Every now and then, an essay continues to speak to people.
Henry David Thoreau wrote about the impact of industrialization on nature and society. He tried to live a simple and intentional existence.
I went to the woods because I wished to live deliberately.
Thoreau says you can't even ask the deep questions if you don't stop to figure out what the deep questions are.
Thanks to viewers like you, we've been able to tell America's stories on this PBS station. Help us continue to tell these stories now and for future generations by including this station in your charitable plans.
Supporting this PBS station through a gift in your will is easy. To find out more, call the number on your screen or visit this website. Thank you.
Welcome back. I'm Grant Kiefer, live from the Convo. And look, this building opened in 1968, almost 60 years ago. And in that time frame, I don't know if there's been a game as important as this, just for the whole sport of college basketball. Now, for Ohio, kind of is just any other game against their rival. One more game before the MAC tournament, looking for a tune-up. But for Miami, immortality is on the line. All right, they are 30-0, one win away from a perfect regular season. The only team undefeated in college basketball right now. For Ohio, though, it starts with looking to just play spoiler. This building now, they opened in 1968, like I said. Let's go ahead and flash it back. 3 weeks ago today, the Bobcats went straight to Millett Hall. They were the villain in that game, booed left and right on main ESPN. And they hung in with the Red Hawks. They were hanging in the first half, only down 8 entering halftime. They were down 20 in that second half. Did not work out, and it hasn't really been smooth sledding since for these Bobcats. And Ohio's not a good team defensively, and Miami really exploited that. They averaged over 90 points per game. That's second in Division I. But for Jeff Bull's team, stark difference and between how these programs have changed.
Well, I mean, obviously they deserve it, and I think Travis has done a great job. I'm not sure what they brought back, 7 of their top 8 guys. You know, they obviously have the resources financially to be able to do that, and that, you know, consistency is big. You know, to have that returning group come in, and you know, everyone talks about the lack of non-conference schedule, but they won those games. They built confidence.
Now, Miami's season ended in a loss last year in the MAC championship game, but they haven't lost a regular season game since March 1st, 2025. Where might that have been? Right here on this floor, right behind me. That was the last time they lost a regular season game. They were leading at the under 8 timeout, but Ohio ended up taking the lead. They pulled away, ended up winning that game by 9 points. And let's talk about just the history in general between Miami and Ohio in this building. Miami has not won here since 2011. It was 8 years old the last time they won in this building. I mean, that's forever ago at this point. I feel like I'm ancient. But hey, Miami got a chance to, you know, or just erase that tonight. Let's go and take a look at beyond this game. It'll play a bit of a factor in the MAC standings. It's also the final night of league play ahead of the MAC tournament starting next Thursday. Top 8 teams make it to Cleveland. You can see that Z next to Miami's name. That means they've clinched the 1 seed. The top 4 games, or top 4 seeds, all of them have been clinched. 4 other teams are out right now. You got 2 teams vying for that last spot. You saw Ohio there at 5th in the standings. That is not locked in yet for tonight. If Ohio pulls off the upset over Miami, they get that 5th seed and will get a 3rd shot at Toledo, who they've lost 11 straight against. If Ohio loses to Miami and Bowling Green takes care of business against EMU, Ohio falls to 6th and faces Kent State in the MAC quarterfinals. Let's go ahead and talk about some of the important games tonight. The one I have to look for just for seeding in general, it's going to be Ball State and Central Michigan. We're taking a look here. If CMU wins, they just need a Buffalo loss, and they're in. Buffalo is at Toledo tonight. Buffalo wins that. They're good. They're in. UMass, like you saw on those standings, they're 7-11. They're the only MAC team without a game tonight. They're in. They're in. I mean, it's weird that they're 7-11, but they're good. They can just skip back and watch. They just have to see if they're going to be the 7 or the 8 seed. All we got, a lot to take in. I know there's so much around this game. For all post-game and in-game content, go ahead and follow at Bobcat Showcase on X, Facebook, and our new Instagram page. We're going to be in Cleveland next week on site for the MAC tournament. You're not going to want to miss any of it. Let's go ahead and send it back to Charlie in the studio.
Still ahead, one canine is definitely in the doghouse, but his precinct is on the case.
Rain is back in the forecast. Stay tuned to see the timing of it all.
For more than 70 years, WOUB Public Media has been the place where people in our region turn to learn how stories of the past ignite the imagination of the future. It's where information, entertainment, and education work together to inform, enlighten, and inspire generations. It's the place where the community gathers to hear and see our world in new and innovative ways. WOUB, the public media you trust that's worthy of your support.
CasualWorks was not designed, created, or maintained by people who studied disability. They're people who studied opportunity. If a person has very limited movement and can make little teeny circles, there's a place for you. The idea of workers contorting themselves to a job is one business model. Our business model is that the job responds to the worker.
You can feel the human spirit. That's power.
I hear music moving me, sonnets playing on repeat, breaking light, I finally see.
It was always in my body.
Like a bang on a drum, this is my kingdom come, I can see it.
These moments with you are purely joyous.
Hope y'all ready.
This is amazing.
I love it.
We're on the precipice of a great discovery.
I love it. Fasten your seatbelt.
One K-9 deputy from Ohio is in the doghouse. Lucas County Sheriff's deputies responded to a gruesome scene, a lamb toy torn to shreds in their office. The top suspect, Moby, a K-9 deputy with the department. Though Moby claimed they were barking up the wrong tree, his dogged defense couldn't save him from being charged for the heinous crime he committed at the station. Moby's crime went viral, proving every dog has his day, and yesterday was his chance to be the top dog. Well, Serenity, you're from Lucas County. Is this something that's happening a lot? Are there a lot of crazy dogs running around committing crimes?
You know, I've never seen this happen before. This is unique.
I can't say I've ever heard of a dog, committing a crime, but I have to say, Calvin, the real mystery might be what kind of weather we're looking at here in the future.
Yeah, I mean, at least for tonight, it's going to be a bit on the warmer side of things, especially for this time of year. I mean, we still are under that aerial flood warning, though, for until 10 p.m. tonight. So we aren't expecting much rain through tonight, but heading into tomorrow, again, we should be mindful with all of this, too. Taking a closer look at tonight, we'll see that overnight low of 62 with partly cloudy skies. Those won't be sticking around heading into tomorrow. We'll see that 90% chance of showers, high of 70 and a low of 48, and we're expecting some severe risk of storms heading through the midday to late evening tomorrow. Now just taking a look at our 7-day outlook, looking at Sunday, those showers will be moving out of our area, partly sunny skies, high of 62, low of 41. Then heading into Monday, sunny skies again, high of 73 with a low of 53. Then heading into Tuesday, 50% chance of shower. And then through the rest of the week, rain is on the risk, highs in the mid to low 70s.
That does it for our broadcast this evening. Thanks for watching. Newswatch will return Monday, March 16th.
Stay tuned for the PBS NewsHour coming up. Here for all of us at Newswatch. Have a great night.
Hi, I'm Paula Kerger, President and CEO of PBS. It's been a challenging year for PBS, but your commitment